Hey, so this is a new channel that I made. I'm Dreadbox. I tend to do more gaming videos instead of this kind of video. So, I do recommend that you watch my other YouTube channel, because that's the channel I tend to upload on more. So, what I'm going to be doing is a summary on Escape the Fates Dying is Your Latest Fashion Era. And also to try and clear up some things about like why Ronnie was kicked out, because some people on the internet act like Ronnie was kicked out just for no reason, but that Escape the Fate just wanted him out. That's not true, and I want to summarize the story of how the band started, Dying is Your Latest Fashion's release, and why Ronnie was kicked out and why Craig came in. So anyways, let's get into this. Escape the Fate is a metalcore band from, however the hell that's pronounced, Nevada, that was formed in around 2004, which happened to be the band that Ronnie Radke was in before they gave him the boot. And they're famous for the album Dying is Your Latest Fashion, which would become a screamo classic, and would be the reason why they are popular in the scene. Anyway, here's the video. So the band started in 2004, consisting of Max Green, the bassist, Monty Money, lead guitarist, and Ronnie Radke, at the time vocalist. Robert Ortiz, I hope that's his name, and Omar Espinoza, the rhythm guitarist who was originally in Love Hate Hero, and Carl Allen, the keyboardist, would come later. After winning a radio contest by My Chemical Romance and going on a tour for their self-released demo, Escape the Fate would later sign to Epitaph Records, who at the time pretty much owned all of the screamo band. Anyways, the record deal would later result in the release of their debut EP, There Is No Sympathy of the Dead, which would feature 2 songs that would later be on their magnum opus of an album. Carl Allen would eventually leave EFT to join a band called On the Last Day. I know nothing about that band. All this attention would later lead in the release of their masterpiece. On September 26, 2006, Escape the Fate would release their masterpiece of an album named Dying is Your Latest Fashion, which, if you couldn't tell, became their most popular release ever. The album sold over 4,100 copies in the first week, and eventually would end up selling over 168,000 copies. I can't English. Hell, it was so good they ended up being the headliners for Warped Tour. So I'm just gonna give you a brief summary of each song, because I want to, so here we go. Banger. Actually underrated. The most popular song is one of 3 Ronnie ballads that doesn't sound like he's Forrest Gump. Could still refer. This song started a whole freaking tetralogy. The most punk rock sounding song on the album. Honestly, don't really like the song too much. This song had its own EP, and the Guillotine was on it too. More of a darker theme and sound. God damn, man. There's also the second ballad that doesn't sound like Johnny Bravo. More of an upbeat kind of sound, honestly, but pretty cool. Literally the best song on the album, and it's the 3rd song of those 3 ballads. The ultimate emo acoustic song. Changed my mind on that. So yeah, this album ended up being literally the greatest, just overall, even with sound and quality. Unfortunately, all this fame and popularity would end up being halted because on November 6, 2007, Omar Espinoza would leave because of personal issues. He would announce that he was starting his own project named Perfect Like Me. However, this would not be anywhere near as bad as what would happen next. Shortly after Omar's departure, Ronnie Radke was involved in an altercation in a bar fight in Nevada, which would end up resulting in the death of 18-year-old Michael Cook. Now I do want to mention this because the internet tends to be a little confused on it, because some people say that Ronnie is the one that killed him. However, I do want to say this, he did not kill Cook. However, he is responsible for starting the bar fight that did end up killing him. Ronnie Radke was indicted for battery and would get 5 years probation, and later 2 years in prison for failing to report to his probation officer. Escape the Fate would announce that Ronnie Radke had been fired from Escape the Fate, which would end up causing the greatest and biggest rivalry of all time. Escape the Fate now needed a singer, which they thankfully ended up finding the one and only Craig Mabbitt. Aside from being known as Escape the Fate's current singer, Craig Mabbitt was originally the singer of a band called The Word Alive, a band that I actually know nothing about, and a band named Bless the Fall. which is a band I absolutely adore, and I love that album so much. After resigning from Bless the Fall, he was originally trying to audition for a heavily underrated band named Skylit Drive, because at the time, their original singer Jordan Blake had left. Rest in peace. Craig was trying to send demos to their at-the-time lead guitarist Joey Wilson. However, he accidentally sent them to EFT's manager at the time, whose name was also Joey. His manager told him to go on a tour with Escape the Fate because they were still searching for a singer at the time, and news about Ronnie being fired was not out yet. While originally just being a temporary replacement for Ronnie, he would eventually end up becoming the official singer of Escape the Fate. Ronnie would go on to start Falling in Reverse, and would start beef with Craig Mabbitt shortly after leaving. This rivalry would go on until 2013, when Ronnie and Craig announced the Bury the Hatchet tour, which featured both Falling in Reverse and Escape the Fate. Escape the Fate would release multiple albums with Craig even until now. While not being anywhere near as popular as Dying, they're still very popular albums, and they still release music up to this day. So that's technically just a freaking entire roller coaster of a story. And I'm gonna be a little honest here. I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, but personally, I enjoy more of Escape the Fate's music with Craig instead of Ronnie. Mainly because I don't really like Ronnie. He's kind of eh. But I do like, let's be honest, Dying will forever be their best album no matter what anyone says, but either way, I still prefer Craig's era, and I still love the stuff that they're making with Craig, but this has been the analysis video, or summary, whatever this thing is, so hope you guys had fun.